Welcome to class students. In today's class we discuss components of a Verilog module. Components of Verilog module consists of following things. It begins with module name, port list, port declarations, parameters. So initial thing is module keyword is must, name is must, port list. In case of module we are mentioning input, output, in-out ports. Parameters, if any global constants we need to define, those we are defining. So module and name is compulsory. In case of test bench, port list and port declarations are not written in the module statement. They are defined as wire and registers. Then apart from that, module declaration, module and name, parameter, port list, we have to declare wires. If any intermediate outputs are there, those need to be defined as wires. Registers, those we can registers and wires we can define, and other variables. Registers generally we define when output port you want to store any value, we need to define them as registers. We use data flow statements like assign within a module. If you want to write only data flow style of coding, then we use only assign statements. If you want to use a structural description, then we need to use instantiation of lower level modules. Then we need to use always block and initial blocks within a module, those are also allowed. So usually behavioral coding, behavioral statements we write within always and initial blocks. Apart from that, like in C, we can also write tasks and functions in Verilog. And at the end we need to write end module keyword. This is mandatory. Module definition always begins with keyword module. Module definition always begins with keyword module. So this module keyword is must. Module name, port list, port declarations, parameters must come first in module definition. Port list, port declarations are present only if module has any ports to interact with the external environment. The 5 components within the module are variable declarations, data flow statements, instantiation of lower level modules, behavioral blocks, tasks or functions. So all these things we can write within module. Apart from that, the components can be in any order at any place in the module definition. So the order of the statements that we write, the components that we write, or the assignment statements that we write within the module directly, those can be in any order because they are executed concurrently. The end module statement must always come last in a module definition. To indicate end of the module, we are writing end module statement. Those must always come last in a module definition. All components except module name and end module are optional. So module name and end module are mandatory. The remaining things as and when we require, those are optional and can be mixed and matched as per the design requirement. Verilog allows multiple modules to be defined in a single file. In a single file I can write multiple level modules as well as test bench in a same file. That is also allowed in Verilog. The modules can be defined in any order in the file. So you can write the lower level module first, then the higher level modules, then at the end you can write test bench, which is generally a top level module. We are writing for top level module, or we can, in general, we can write for any module. So the mapping is done, or the arrangement is done based on the module names that we give. The order in which you write the modules within the single file when it contains multiple modules is not important. You can write in any order that you like. If you see an example SR latch, to understand the various components of Verilog module that we have analyzed with the block diagram. So we can see that this particular design, we have got S bar and R bar, Q and Q bar. So in your text they have given only this particular schematic symbol. If you see, S bar and R bar are the inputs, Q and Q bar are the outputs. Okay. So actually this S bar is derived from SR inputs, or set reset inputs. S bar is nothing but complement of set, R bar is nothing but complement of reset. Complement means not of reset, not of reset. Not of set we are referring it as S bar, not of reset we are referring it as R bar. If you want to observe how this circuit functions, so initially we assume some, for analysis purpose, we assume Q value as 1 and say Q bar value is 0. If you assume Q value as 1, Q bar value as 0, and set values, say these are set value is 0 and reset value is say 0. In this case, how the circuit behaves? S bar will be what? Not of 0, that is 1. R bar will be what? Not of reset, that is 1. And previously we have assumed Q as 1 and Q bar as 0. So this particular output, 1 NANDed with 1, 1 NAND 1, output will be 0, 0 NAND 1, you will get output as 1. NAND get output when one of the input is 0, you will get as 1. Both the inputs are 1, output you are getting 0. So earlier also you had 1 0, and after reset and reset values are made 0, the value output is not changing. If you assume either way, say initial values Q and Q bar are complement to each other. If you assume Q as 1, Q bar should be 0. If you assume Q as 0, Q bar should be 1. With this input, if you analyze, output Q and Q bar as 0 and 1. If you want to analyze, set reset remains 0 0. In that case, S bar and R bar will be 1. If you observe 0 1, for this particular NAND gate you can number it as say N2, and this was N1. For N2 NAND gate, inputs are 1 and 0, you will get output as 1. For N1 NAND gate, 1 and 1, both inputs are 1, output you will get 0. That means output Q and Q bar are not changing. So for the first combination, when set is 0, reset is 0, S bar and R bar will be 1 1. In that case, Q and Q bar will be no change. Q and Q bar will be retain previous values. When set and reset values becomes say 1 0, set becomes 1 and reset this value is 0. In that case, how this circuit behaves? So when set is 1 and we are assuming output should be, output Q and Q bar previous values are 0 and 1. Now we will see how this circuit behaves. When set is 1, S bar will be what? S bar will be 0. When reset is 0, what is R bar value? It is 1. And for 0 1 output and 1 0, you can see here Q value is 0 and R bar is 1, so Q bar value will get as 1, and Q bar values is 1 and S bar is 0, it becomes 1 here. q is 1, r bar is 1, this value will become 0. I'll explain once again, please concentrate. When set value is 1, reset is 0. In that case, s bar will become 0, r bar will become 1. If you assume previous values as 0 and 1, and if you start analysis, so q value is 0, q bar value is 1 in this case for analysis. So r bar value is 1, q value is 0, 0, 1, output we have got say 1, output remains as 1, and this q bar is fed at as input here 1 and 0, so output is 1 here also. Now execution won't stop since q value, earlier value was 0, new value is 1. You see here 1, q value is 1, r bar value is 1, so 1, 1, output remains, output changes to 0. So we will get the output, and now you can see 0, 0, output remains 1, and 1, 1, output remains 0. The value settles at, further if you analyze, see earlier value 1, now it is changed to 0. So 0, 0 for NAND gate N1, for 0, 0 combination, further q value will be 1, and 1, 1, q value will be 0. For two successive iterations, if the value remains same, execution stops and it will settle at value for 1, 0 at q1 and q bar 0. Similarly, you can analyze for when input is set is 0 and reset value is 1. When set is 0, reset value is 1. In that case, s bar will become 1 and r bar will become 0. This input is 0. And previous output, say assume that 1, 0 only. In that case, okay, we are analyzing with this combination values. Say assume that q is 1, q bar is 0 and set value is 0, reset is 1. We are analyzing. For s bar will be 1, r bar will be 0. In this case, what is the value of q and q bar we need to calculate. So here initially q bar is 0 here for this NAND gate N1, 0, 1, output is 1, and 1, 0, output is 1, again 1, 1, output will become 0. So you can see here for the first iteration, what is the value of q? 1. For when 1 and 0 if you execute, the output value will change, q bar change to 1, and when you execute with previous value of q bar which was 0, 0 and 1, you will get value as 1. Again, since there is a value change occurred for q bar from 0 to 1, q bar is involved in a computation of q. So now with the new value, that is 1, 1, with the new value 1, 1, the q output will become 0. So this 0 is available here. For 0, 0, you will get output as 1. So for two successive iteration, you have got 1. Again you check 1, 1 is 0, 0, 0, 1. Value is settled at 0 and 1. Q at 0, Q bar at 1. When both the inputs are 1, 1, when both the inputs are 1, 1, we need to analyze. Say assume that Q is 0 and Q bar is 1, previous state outputs. When set and reset value becomes 1, S bar will be 0, R bar will be 0. And for computing Q bar and Q, for computing Q bar, Q value is taken as 0, 0 for 0, 0, and for Q bar Q calculation, Q bar value is taken as 1. For 0, 1 and 0, 0, both the outputs will get 1. Again, this particular thing 1 0 1 0, you get 1. Next iteration for 1, again 1 0, you will get output as 1. For 2 successive iterations, you have got both q and q bar as 1 1, which is invalid output, because we want q and q bar should be in complemented form. Means when q is 0, q bar should be 1. When q is 1, q bar should be 0. In this case, when set and reset both are 1 1, in that case both q and q bar we are getting 1. So I have written here as invalid output. This particular output is not valid. So we analyzed the circuit. We have seen set and reset are the actual signals. S bar and R bar represent complement of set and reset inputs, and we analyzed the truth table of SR latch. We'll try to write code for this SR latch, and also the test bench for an SR latch. If you see code for SR latch, the code for SR latch contains outputs Q and Q bar. Q and Q bar we are writing first, followed by S bar and R bar. So in your text they have given example like this, so I used readily S bar and R bar as input. S bar and R bar. From where we have derived S bar and R bar? These are actually derived from complement of set and complement of reset. So S bar R bar value we are referring directly. So S bar and R bar are the inputs for your design, Q and Q bar are the output, and exclude this circuit set NOT gate, and if you write only for this, S bar and R bar are the input, Q and Q bar are the outputs. Here it involves 2 NAND gates. We are readily available NAND gates, we are using NAND. So for N1 inputs are what? When you are using already existing component, NAND is readily available, so no need to write module for NAND gate. So predefined component we are using NAND, and the instance name we are given as N1. First, always when you are using predefined component, first you should write output followed by input list. So Q is the output. For N1 inputs are S bar and Q bar. S bar and Q bar are input. So it will behave like 2 input NAND gate, comma one more input if you write, it will behave like 3 input NAND gate, comma one more term if you write 4 input NAND gate, like that. So always predefined component, first we need to write output followed by input list. In this case we have written 2 inputs, so it behaves as 2 input NAND gate. Similarly for N2 it produces output Q bar, inputs are R bar and Q. Q bar is the output, R bar and Q are the inputs. In this order we are writing. So we have developed a module for SR latch. So in components of Verilog module we have seen module name and end module are compulsory, and within the module in case of test benches, input output ports are not defined, port declaration is not defined. And when you are using component instances, so here in structural description component instances we have made use of, okay, like this. So next we'll see a top level code where SR latch, previously developed code, module name is SR underscore latch. So this SR underscore latch with the instance name M1, it is acting as component in a top level module top. So this module top is nothing but it is a stimulus block or a test bench written for SR latch. Here you are supplying values for set and reset. Here if you observe, module top and module are available, port declaration is not there. Here you are making use of wire and register variable declaration. Register means variables in Verilog which can store value. Wires, so outputs we define as wires in stimulus or top level code or test bench. So wire, Q and Q bar we are writing it as wire. Inputs we are writing it as set and reset register. So Q and Q bar followed by NOT of set, because S bar is input in your module, and NOT of reset, R bar is also input. So since you have defined set and reset, complement of set and reset, that is NOT of set and NOT of reset is acting as input here.